French military pilot tied up on firing range during bombing as hazing prank. Oh boy. Sacre bleu.
3, 2, 1, fight off.
What's up, everybody? The French Air Force is in the news yet again, this time bombing their own fighter pilots. According to The Guardian, French military pilot tied up on firing range during bombing as hazing prank. That's a cool looking airplane, man. I do like the Mirage. The lawyer gives details of airman's complaint over Corsica incident where he was tied to target while bombs and bullets hailed around. A French pilot has filed a legal complaint after being subjected to a hazing ritual in which he was tied to a target and had fighter jets open fire around him, his lawyer said. The young man had just been posted to an airbase in the south of the island of Corsica in March of 2019 when he was grabbed by colleagues and tied up with adhesive tape. After having a bag put over his head, the recruit in his 30s was transported to a live fire target range, tied to a target, and then heard fighter jets open fire and drop munitions around him for 20 minutes. The man's lawyer, Frederic Berna, told AFP he had lodged a legal complaint over the incident in court in the city of Marseille in the middle of the week, which could lead to charges of deliberately endangering someone's life and aggravated violence. Video pictures of the hooded and motionless victim, in which the perpetrators are clearly visible, have been handed over to prosecutors. Comes just months after conviction of 3 others over brutal initiation ceremony. There's some other stuff. Strong sanctions against the perpetrators, blah, blah, blah. There's not much else to it. So, what's the safest place to be on a French bombing range tied to the target? I'm kidding. It's going to trigger people. Okay, so I have so many questions. I have more questions than I have answers, actually. Why is he a recruit in his 30s? That's question number one. Usually, I don't know how the French military is. I mean, granted, in the U.S. military, there are age waivers, and you can be, up to age 32 or 33 even, and just starting out. But typically, if you're in your 30s, you're a field grade officer. You're a major, you're an 04, you're like me. You're older and crustier. So you're not really subject to hazing rituals. That's usually for lieutenants, if you even do that at all. I mean, there are very few. The U.S. military's kind of gotten away from that because it's illegal. Frowned upon. There are still some things, but the other thing, I doubt that old boy was tied up to a target that aircraft were dropping nearby. I seriously doubt it. More than likely, he was on the range, yes, probably on an unused target. Probably not within 1,000 meters, my guess. If they were using lives, unless these guys are idiots, which maybe. People do stupid stuff all the time. I doubt they were dropping live weapons like a Mark 84 or Mark 82, a 2,000-pound bomb or a 500-pound bomb with live ordnance. I don't see that happening. They could have been on range at a target, and an unused target, within, a long distance away from another one, such that he thought he was tied up to a target that was being used, but not actually in danger. Because, they could have been dropping Mark 76s or BD-33s, which are 25-pound smoke charges. They could have been shooting the gun. Again, it sounds loud. When you're on range within a respectable viewing distance, yeah, it sounds like it's happening all around you, but was it really? Probably not. That's not to say I condone hazing. I am kind of skeptical that they strapped this dude to a target that was actively being bombed anywhere within, 100 to maybe even 500 meters. I don't see that happening. I don't see any professional aviators doing that, especially to a recruit. I mean, the idea of a hazing thing is an initiation to kind of toughen them up and, welcome them to the squadron. It's all fun. To actually do that and actually put them in danger, unlikely. I'm just going to say it's unlikely. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. And I would like to know the rest of the story. What took this guy so long to actually complain? March of 2019, we're hearing about this now. Did he file the complaint in March of 2019 and it took 2 years to process it? Then what are the actual details? But more than likely, it's 2 years later and he's now filing the complaint. Usually when people file a complaint like that 2 years later, it's because somebody didn't get their way, he failed an upgrade, something else happened, and now he's trying to get back at the people that wronged him by saying, well, they put me on the range and tied me up and scared me. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying I question why it took 2 years to actually report this and why this is a big deal now. Odds are it's a normal thing that they do. Everybody knows about it except the recruit, and then they find out later. But it's all smoke and mirrors. No one's actually in danger. No one's actually getting shot at because, I mean, why? Why would you? I don't know. If they are, and if this dude's complaint is legit, then bad on his squadron mates. That's stupid. That's just dumb. Why would you do that? Why? I mean, serves no purpose. That's not good fun, but they're actually going after this guy. They're looking at criminal charges for the allegations. The spokesman for the French Air Force told the AFP that an investigation had been launched once the chief of staff learned, and they're going to strong sanctions without specifying punishment or those ranks of those implicated. Air Force condemns any activity that could cause physical or psychological damage to its personnel. Bullying, humiliating initiation ceremonies known as hazing are common in armed forces around the world and have been linked to mental health problems, suicides, and sometimes murder. Yeah, I mean, if that's what they really did, then yeah, bad on them. But I don't think, personally, that they tied a dude up to a target and then tried to bomb the target. If you go to the Yahoo News article, the only other information they say, you drop munitions for 20 minutes, which is about how long you'd be on the range if you're dropping bombs. This article says that he was in the back of a pickup truck, is what the photo says. He was driven to a live fire range used by French pilots to practice dropping munitions. Again, live fire doesn't necessarily mean live weapons. It could be Mark 76's BD-33s, which are 25-pound charges. And then they made fun of him. What is this? What have we been sent again? The complaint alleges one superior officer said to the man, this is where it is, by the way. The man suggested the hazing, filed his complaint in the city of Marseille this week. So it happened this week. The dude took 2 years to actually complain. He claims that the cost of flying a Mirage jet amounts to 15,000 euros per hour in fuel alone. It was a monumental waste of public money. Obviously, it was more than likely a scheduled training mission, and they just tied him up. I doubt they made a special mission just to go do that. I mean, they have training squares they have to fill, so that's ridiculous by itself. And that's the only other amplifying information we didn't get on that. So, yeah, I don't know. So tell me in the comments what you think. Was this a deliberate act to terrorize this guy, and were they dropping and wasting taxpayer dollars, or was this a benign initiation ritual gone wrong? I mean, hey, lots of military organizations have initiation rituals. It's been common over the years. They're getting away from it because, we're kinder, gentler now, and we don't do that sort of thing. But, I don't know. Again, my questions are, why did it take 2 years, and what prompted this investigation now when it could have been handled then? And why is this dude so old? I mean, why is he in his 30s? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.